I'm going to tell you a quickest story of it right around in our area. So we live in Dallas, Texas. There's a school district very nearby, Garland. The Garland High School had a bunch of students, young students, who wanted to form their branch on campus at the Garland High School of the Young Americas Foundation. If you don't know about Young Americas Foundation, I used to talk about them a lot. They're a great organization. Here's what they stand for. Young Americas Foundation is committed to ensuring that increasing numbers of young Americans understand and are inspired by the ideas of individual freedom, a strong national defense, free enterprise, and traditional values. So here we have Garland High School. Kids want to form a Young Americas Foundation. They invited Alan West to be their first speaker. He actually lives in Garland. Wanted to invite Alan West to be their first speaker. And the principal of the high school sent a letter to the parents saying, or to the students, we're not going to let this group form because they're not neutral. Neutral. So your Young Americas Foundation should be salt of the earth, should be everyone in America on board, standing up for individual freedom. This high school principal, it was easier for him to characterize a group standing up for individual freedom as not neutral. He's basically saying he doesn't want to deal with the leftists in this country who are going to overrun him and his school if he dares to honor the idea of individual freedom. So his first answer was no. Fortunately, Alan West and others made more of a public issue out of it, and the school has surrendered. But I'm getting at the idea of speaking up. You've got to speak up in context of all kinds. Do not let this steamroller of the American left destroy everything good about America. But my real stories I wanted to hit about cowardice. One quick story is that Mitt Romney, you likely saw Mitt Romney, the former presidential candidate, now senator from Utah, has admitted that he had a secret Twitter handle. He's tweeting under the name Pierre Delecto. Pierre Delecto. And so he was finally, someone figured it out, and they contacted him and said, hey, we're going to run with this story. Are you really Pierre Delecto? To which Mitt Romney said in French, c'est moi, which means, that's me. Yeah, that's what that means. That is, well, it should be that is I, but that's me. That's what c'est moi means. So he acknowledged it because he got caught, but he's been on this Pierre Delecto Twitter handle tweeting out attacks on Trump, attacks on Gingrich, attacks on conservatives, and surprisingly, praises of himself. Folks, this is so cowardly, so arrogant, so unwilling to stand up for what you believe, and he only confessed to it because he got caught. In a similar vein, I'll tell you, if you might remember back, I think it was like June of 2018 or something, there was a big piece in the Washington Post. Somebody wrote a big attack. I'm an insider of the Trump White House. I know what's going on. I'm a big guy there. And it was from Anonymous, was a big attack on the Trump White House by the coward calling himself or herself Anonymous. And so there are people saying, see, look, now we have it from inside the White House. You don't know who wrote that. You have no idea who wrote it. Could be Jonah Goldberg or somebody who hates Trump. Could be anybody. I don't mean I think it's Jonah Goldberg. I'm just saying could be anyone who hates Trump posing at, although New York Times claims they know who it really is. Well, now Anonymous has a book coming out. Anonymous, still too cowardly to say who he or she is, has a book coming out, and it is going to be called something about, I don't even know what it's called. The column was called I'm Part of the Resistance Inside the Trump Administration, and the new book is going to be called A Warning. Let me warn him, nobody buy that book and we'll be better off. We'll be much better off. I'm going to close out this segment by saying this. We have too many Americans who don't know what they don't know. Too many Americans get swept up, for example, in the LGBT steamroller that says everything the LGBTQers want, what they believe in, what they argue, must be surrendered to, must be saluted to. Yes, they're right about everything. Nobody fight. Everyone attack the Constitution. The American left is eviscerating the Constitution. We have too many Americans who don't realize how important it is, who don't realize how the Constitution keeps us safe from tyranny. Too many Americans who are duped into thinking if we just would abandon the southern border and let everyone come in and let them all come here and feed them and house them and clothe them and educate them, surely country, that we can do that. They have no clue what they're talking about. We have too many Americans who finish a public education school in this country without a clue of the unique, extraordinary greatness of America, which is the job of this show and every listener who's on board for the agenda to speak up for this country, to explain the many ways in which the goodness and the greatness of America is profoundly under attack by the American left. And the only people, the only soldiers, the only people standing at the border saying, no, you're not taking over our country, those people are you. You, the listener, the advocate, the spokesperson, the people who will just stand up in your corner of the world, your corner, laboring in your corner of the vineyard, standing up for the ideas of America, not letting leftism destroy this country.